Today we're gonna do something cool and unique. We're gonna screen print a jersey sweatshirt and we're gonna emboss. When we do a straight emboss, it looks clean, simple. We'd like to call it premium. With screen print, we'll add this extra touch that you're not gonna see it anywhere else.
Today's adventure brings us to sunny Seattle, where we're taking apparel decorating to new heights with our friends at Logo Unlimited. Logo Unlimited is a custom merchandise supplier specializing in brand elevation, utilizing innovative design services. From high-end embroidery to sublimation, laser etching, and everything in between, no request is too complex. If their customer wants a logo on it, they can do it. And just like their name implies, the possibilities are unlimited. In this episode, they will show us how to use an embossing technique to create a one-of-a-kind look that takes customer branding to a whole new level. We've covered a lot of cool decoration techniques in this series, and today we're at Logo Unlimited and we're going to learn all about embossing. Let's go inside and see what it's all about. I'm with Artem Ianitsa here at Logo Unlimited. So Artem, tell us about your company.
I started this business 8 years ago. My goal was to be different than anyone else because I was going against the businesses that were established and they've been around for 10, 20, 30 years. I was a new kid on the block. I needed to bring something different to a table.
And you do that with different decoration techniques.
Yes, absolutely. Just like the name says, we have unlimited options. We're always learning, we're always buying new machines, we're always experimenting, we're always trying to do different things. That's what I believe sets us apart from the rest. So I like to do everything in-house because I like to control the quality. We want to be a one-stop shop for our clients.
How did you get into doing the deboss, emboss end of things?
It started showing up here in the States, I would say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I've been following the trend from Europe. There was never any information online about the emboss presses or the processes. How is it made? There was no information at all. So when I purchased my first press, which is a deboss press, I started learning on my own and kind of just experimenting.
So you do both deboss and emboss, and that always confuses me. So what's the difference?
The easiest way to remember deboss, D is for down.
Right,
that's
down.
It, down, yeah, so it's the image is pressed in. With the emboss, obviously it's raised.
Today, we're gonna be embossing the shirt, which means that we do the process inside out so it comes up.
Correct, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So in the deboss, you have one plate. We call it male, that it gets pressed in the fabric. With the emboss, you have two plates, male and female. Once we apply heat pressure, we stretch the fabric with those two dies.
And it's permanent.
Yes, absolutely. Everything we do around here is permanent.
Does your fabric choice play a part in the embossing?
Yes, it does. Doing it on the medium to heavier weight garments looks sharper. Even though we do embossing on t-shirts, regular 4 to 5 ounce, 6 ounce t-shirt, it looks amazing as well. For the embossing process, fabric does matter, but it's more about the preference, what client like or what they're trying to accomplish.
So walk us through the process that we're going to see today.
Today we're gonna do something cool and unique. We're gonna screen print a jersey sweatshirt and we're gonna emboss it. The reason we're gonna screen print is just to add this extra Logo Unlimited touch to it.
And that elevates the value of the shirt?
Oh yes, it's gonna look amazing because when we do a straight emboss, it looks super clean, simple. We'd like to call it premium. With screen print, we'll add this extra touch that you're not gonna see it anywhere else.
I'm with Sarah Emmons, who's the sales director here at Logo Unlimited. So Sarah, talk about selling embossing to your clients. What's that like?
I would say the embossed decoration method is one of the most unique. It's very high end. It makes your brand look really professional. The decoration technique is, three-dimensional. It's standing up out of your garment versus on top of it. We do basically everything. So if a client comes to us and they have no idea what they want, we work with them with their logo and we give them, the best possible outcome for their brand. When I walked into this shop, I was just overwhelmed and excited about how many different things there were here to offer. My old shop was a lot smaller. We had one embroidery machine. We did screen printing as well, but it was, very, very small, ran out of a garage. And when I came in here, I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so many different decoration methods here. This is crazy. And Artem, showed me around and he's showing me all the different machines we have. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. Like, I did not realize that this was what I was walking into. And it makes my job so much easier to be able to offer the clients, literally anything that they want.
I'm with Afkash, who's the graphic designer here at Logo Unlimited. So let's talk about the design. Where did you get the inspiration for this?
We started with the clean cut embossing of the Unlimited design, and we kind of wanted something that contrasted that clean cut look and something that put ink on top of it to showcase the little letters. So we decided to go with a kind of graffiti wall look and emboss around underneath that would really make the design pop and contrast well with the spray paint splatter design.
You have the plates right there. Let's show the difference between that plate and the design and talk about how this works a little bit.
Embossing is essentially pushing up the fabric from the inside, layering the fabric to hold that design. And it looks cool. On gray, it's kind of muted out, so we decided to go with a kind of graffiti design to overlay that and contrast the clean look of this. So that way it pops up more on the garment and has a good contrast balance between the clean cut design and the paint splatter and all the spray paint craziness. This was Illustrator. It started as a little oval and I was able to source little paint splatters and layer it on the outside and then find some paint drips and layer that on, and it took on a...
Oh, I see. So it wasn't a brush, it was just some...
No, it was different parts that were kind of pieced together.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how long have you worked here?
A year next month.
Yeah, and do you like it?
It is, yeah, it's fun. It keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, what's it like to work with so many great brands?
You definitely get to see into how they design their stuff and kind of how they market their stuff. And it's a cool way to kind of take the experience here and take it outside. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see a lot of stuff they come up with. A lot of the clean designs and like a lot of the crazy 8-color designs. But it's a good insight to how they brand their things.
How are we using the embossing to elevate brands?
I think it's a cool way to incorporate a different type of media into like screen printing or embroidery, because depending on the embossing, we can really play with, for example, screen printing and then embossing underneath it, or maybe embroidering a design around an embossing. So it's kind of a cool way to add depth and like 3D along with other sources of media.
And how does that add value to the garment?
It's a head turner, because you'll see like a flat look and then you look at it from a certain angle and you'll see like a 3D, for example, Unlimited poking out of the shirt. So especially with more complex designs, it may look flat from certain angles. You get close and it really blows up the design.
Don't you find people can't help but like touch it to see, hey, that really comes off the shirt?
Yeah, so with screen printing, it's flat, you have a little bit of texture, but when you have that embossing poking out, it definitely brings a lot of attention. You want to kind of feel around on it because it's very unique and it's not super common. So it's interesting. One tip for preparing a plate for embossing is you want to make sure each element of your art file is a different color. You want to give specifics to the plate maker about how tall you want each element in millimeters, and you want to make sure you don't just send it to them and color code it and hope for the best. The reason we do this is to make sure the text isn't too muted when we emboss it.
I'm with Payam, who's the production manager here at Logo Unlimited. So what are we going to be doing today? Walk us through the steps.
So first we are going to screen print the front of the hoodies, and then we are going to print the silicone inside of the hoodies, put the applicator on top of that, and then emboss them. So we are going to start screen printing these beautiful hoodies. These two lasers are the location for our inside silicone printing.
In embossing, you'll have several steps. Once the garment is turned inside out, we're gonna apply the silicone. We like to do an extra step and apply a piece of fabric that covers the silicone. We feel that it looks more premium and looks cleaner on the inside, like a retail type finish. For this process, we're using 100% polyester fabric that we're gonna cut with the laser in the shapes that we need. So
It can be any shape. You custom do it for the
everything.
design.
Yes, correct. Everything is custom made.
Since the hoodie is now inside out, you can start printing the silicone. So now we use these set of lasers to locate our position that we need to print. So now we apply the applicator on top of this silicone and just a little push to make them stick together. So now we are going to emboss the silicone and make the form.
So Artem, thanks for having us out today. These Jerseys Varsity Stripe hoodies came out fantastic.
It was a blast. Thank you so much for coming out.
I really loved the way the embossing came out. We have a two-step process with the screen printing and the embossing. Nobody's doing this, and this really elevates this garment.
We enjoyed the process. It's definitely something unique and something that we enjoy making. So this is a perfect example of how embossing can elevate any brand.
Yeah, and I think these turned out perfect. And what's really cool is that the embossing really makes you want to feel the shirt and touch it.
Yeah, it's definitely elevated, it's definitely embossed, and it's definitely premium.
So thanks for having us out today. We really learned a lot. You guys really rocked it. Thanks.
Marshall, thank you.
For more great tips and to watch the full episode, be sure to subscribe to the Jerseys YouTube channel.